Hey UConn Nation, it's KK Arnold here. If you're looking for the latest UConn women's basketball content, go subscribe to Listen Up to Phil and Ryan. Go Huskies!
Phil and Rye on Listen Up, and Rye, we haven't been able to say this too much this season. This is a big last check-in. This is a big last check-in. Can't wait to see what you tell us. And word has it, I read some comments. Word has it, not going to put him on the spot. Phil is not ready for predictions nowadays. I'm copying off of you too much. So I sat down, took notice of the last two losses for the UConn Huskies, and I did. Hopefully, I'm going to predict a more realistic score prediction at the end and who wins. More importantly, that is, Ryan. Can't wait. Can't wait to see what we have in the bucket. Ryan, this is a great Tennessee team led by Talasia Cooper, the returning sophomore guard out of South Carolina, coached by the great Kim Caldwell.
Well, like you said, this is the game that we've been waiting for quite some time. We've been talking about it for probably a month now. So UConn, of course, making the long journey down to Knoxville, Tennessee to take on the Lady Volunteers. Now, UConn did jump up to the top five, number five spot in the AP poll yesterday. But this Tennessee team has had their ups and downs. It's kind of been an up and down roller coaster ride for them this year. They actually started the season unranked, but they just kept on winning 13 in a row to be exact. That landed them at number 15, but that streak quickly ended when they began their SEC schedule, losing to Oklahoma and LSU, and later in that month of January, losing three straight games to Vanderbilt, Texas, and South Carolina. So as of right now, the Volunteers find themselves ranked 19th with an overall record of 16-5 and just 4-5 in conference play. So it's really not too bad considering they have a new coach in Kim Caldwell, which has turned out to be a great hire for this team. She's a fantastic young coach with a lot of prior experience. She's turned out to be a perfect fit for this team. And this is an experienced team, one with a good amount of transfers, but their leading scorer has actually been sophomore transfer from South Carolina, Talasia Cooper, who's averaging 18 points per game. Junior Ruby Whitehorn from Clemson, averaging about 13. Fifth-year player Jules Spear, junior Z Spearman, and senior Samara Spencer are all averaging double-digit points as well, and they are all transfers too. And as a team,
Oh.
they're averaging 91 points per game, which I'd say is pretty good. So it's quite impressive that a team filled with transfers and a new head coach has been able to put it all together so quickly, especially in a tough SEC conference. So UConn definitely going to have their hands full. But the good news is the way the Huskies have been playing and looking, I think they have a good chance to go on the road and win this game. If they can continue their hot streak from the field, continue to pressure the defense, pressure on defense, I think they have a good chance to win this game.
Oh my. So I think we can already guess what Ryan is predicting at the end of this video. Ryan, 6:30 on ESPN Thursday night. We can't wait, and we all know that you can't wait. Ryan, let's jump over to comments very quickly. BRN Soldier. Good way to start this one out this morning, Ryan. Last check-in. Hey, Phil and Ryan, I called it. Now on to Tennessee. This game will say a lot about the team. It's going to be ugly, but we will see if we can pull out a win in a hostile environment with taller players at each position. We definitely are going to need Jana to stay out of foul trouble 100%.
Yeah, that's true too. You know, with the foul trouble with these tougher teams now, you definitely want to make sure that we stay out of foul trouble because we need a lot of these players, especially the starters. Especially the forwards. You talk about Jana and Ice. You know, even though they obviously don't score a lot, they're very important for rebounding and their defensive play down in the painted areas. So yeah, obviously Tennessee, like you mentioned, a pretty tall team. with the great offense and a pretty solid defense as well. So definitely, like I said, UConn gonna have their hands full, but foul trouble definitely something to keep an eye on in this game.
Stevie Kinsey, big game next time out. Feeling nervous about our rebounding and defending the three.
Yeah, that's a good point. It's two things that maybe UConn hasn't had their best night in some of these games this season, but hopefully their hot streak from downtown from the 3-point arc can kind of counteract their lack of the defense from beyond the arc. So, obviously, like I said, Tennessee obviously a pretty good shooting team, so hopefully that's something that UConn focused on this week from defending the 3-point shot and especially defending down low in the painted area. It's going to go a long way against this Lady Vols team.
Paul 15, Pauls. Thanks for coming through, Paul. UConn needs to stay out of foul trouble against Tennessee. AZ shot the lights out the last time UConn played at Tennessee. Mind you, Ryan, this is a big game for UConn. It will help for seeding in the tournament. The top scorers for UConn were locked in. Chen, AZ, and Ash weren't even hitting the rim. It was all net. Allie looked good. Paige could have scored 30. Sarah played well also. So in other words, Ryan, it's finally looking good. Heading into a matchup where we can finally get a ranked win.
Yeah, well, yeah, we're all hoping so. Yeah, we're all hoping so. Yeah, I think AZ, I think a lot of us still remember that game, the last game where UConn traveled to Tennessee. That's really the
Oh,
game
yeah.
where AZ really shined and had that great shooting performance. So hopefully she can provide another great shooting performance in this one for us.
All right, I have to write these scores down. We can't forget our predictions, especially big ones like this. Let me lead off first, Ryan, so then I'm not being blamed for copying off Ryan's score. Ryan, it looks like the Tennessee ladies scored a season low 63 just recently on January 27th against South Carolina. And that loss, South Carolina beat Tennessee. So it looks like when they go up against these top teams, right? So I'm sitting here thinking, I'll go UConn 79, Tennessee 60. 79-60. UConn wins it over Tennessee.
Well, I think it's going to be a pretty competitive game. I think UConn is the better team, and they will win this game. It's going to be a tough environment, and they definitely need to come out strong, but I think they can hold on for the win. My prediction's a little closer than yours. I'm going to say UConn 84, Tennessee 80.
Ooh, we have them scoring up in the 80s. All right, Ryan, 84-80 and 79-60. But we're both going with UConn, and that's what matters most, right? I will
Yeah.
see you right back here Thursday night. Oh, my goodness. Orange lights, camera, action. Phil and Rye on Listen Up.